gal. This is Kay, Beulah Homestead, and we had a bit of a incident today. Never let anyone tell you that prayer doesn't work, because it works. Got up this morning. It was a little chilly outside. Trying to focus y'all a little better. A little chilly outside, so I turned down the furnace. It was 60 degrees yesterday. So I turned down the furnace a little bit, and it didn't kick on. To get it to kick on, it didn't kick on. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll figure out what's wrong with it. So we opened up the door here, my cellar, and I'm not going to take y'all down there for a lot of reasons, but we looked down there, down the cellar, and there was 1.5 foot of water. You can kind of sort of see, right there where that dark line is. There was water all the way up to there. Up the stairs, all over, 1.5 foot water all over the basement, the cellar. And for some reason we have an intake area and a drainage area for our cellar, and water just comes in this tiny little hole and then goes out the other side of the cellar to a bigger hole. Well, I'm not sure what was going on, but it wasn't draining. Obviously it wasn't draining. So after much prayer, believe me, I got the snake out and I kind of snaked in that hole to see if it would work, and nothing happened. So I wasn't sure what we were gonna do. So I called an uncle and, you know, my aunt, and said, you know, please help, Aunt Robin, please help. This is what's going on. Please come help. And she's like, okay, you know, my husband will be up in a little bit and we'll come over and see what we can do. So I'm like, okay. The furnace was not on at this time, okay, just so you know. And it's quite chilly out here. It was snowy. It's still snowing some. So we, you know, kind of got by, did what we had to do, whatever, and prayed a lot. And they stopped by. And in the meantime, I came out to check on the chickens because their water freezes. I don't have a heated water yet, and it freezes a lot. So I try and get them once or twice a day at least. Get out here and get them some water going. So I came out here and I saw a significant amount of water that was not here yesterday. All this wetness was not here yesterday. And there you see the snow, and back over there it's wet again. So I'm like, huh. So I walked in, and this is mulch that I put down. I'm glad I did. Walked in, there's water, standing water here. Open up the coop to get out the eggs. The coop is full of water. I don't know if you can see that. There's water in the coop. There. Come over here. There's standing water here. Water up against the coop here, standing water. None of this was wet yesterday. All this is soggy. And all this had snow on it. There's snow everywhere, snow up the hill, snow everywhere. So this is quite a bit of water here. So come over here and it's draining. And what we concluded was that all of that snow, that hill goes pretty far up there. That's a pretty decent hill. And all of that snow and rain and ice melted and drained right down into here, right into my chickens. Never had this happen. Well, we've only lived here about 1.5 years, but this hasn't happened since we've lived here. We've got standing water over here. Freaking water froze again. Get them some water. I love pink. Pink's my favorite color. That's not a heated pink water, obviously. So that's flowing again. Had a little bit of ice on it, so got that flowing again. Got a new feeder. This is kind of nice. I saw this on this frozen. I saw this. They can stick their head in the top though. See, they can easily get their head in the top. But I saw this on Cog Hill. He bought one of these because they were just wasting so much food. So I went ahead and got one. It's like $30 a Tractor Supply. And I mean, they can get their head in the top, which is awesome. The only thing I wish it had was a cover on it so it wouldn't get wet, but yeah, they get their head in there and just peck away at it. If it gets too low, I just add some more. But it's supposed to come out the bottom, like you can see, but it got wet along with everything else. So there's ice and water all through here. Ice and water, ice and water. This is never like this, all this water. Well, it's running, you can see, sort of. You can kind of see how it's running there. My basement, that's the door to my basement, which was covered up. One day I will have the know-how, ability, and funds to open this, because I want to be able to run into the basement like Dorothy did. So one day we're going to open this up, but they closed it and they put shingles over it, but we're going to open this up one day. But my basement is right there. Literally right there. So all this water came down through this tree here, around, and it's just draining, 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 and obviously drained into my basement too, my cellar. So we think what happened was there was some kind of blockage, and we got some ice. There, you can see there's ice in there. That was supposed to be for minerals, but it's got ice in it. So there's some kind of blockage in the drainage system from where this water's coming in to where it's supposed to go out down there by the lake. And once it warmed up a little bit and it unfroze, then we started getting it drained again, because I called for help, called the cavalry in, and he got here, and I opened up the basement door, and it's been, I don't know, maybe an hour or so before I went and looked. And I opened up the basement door, and the water was gone, y'all. It was gone. It was gone. It was gone. So, in my happiness, praising Jesus, telling him how grateful I am to him that he took care of the water, I also tried to turn on the furnace, because the furnace is down there, and the furnace had water around it, so it wasn't coming on. So it was getting colder and colder and colder. So we tried to turn on the furnace, no go. It was a no go. Trying to put these lights back up. Furnace was a no go. Didn't turn on. Flipped the switch, nothing happened. So, you know, I'm like, okay, well, maybe we just need to let it dry out a little bit, and, you know, eventually it'll come back on. Well, my uncle opened up the panel and hit the reset switch, and it popped on, just came to life. It was the most beautiful sound. It was a beautiful, beautiful sound. So, called in the cavalry, got them all over here, didn't need them. Thank God. You know, there's something, we are trying so hard to live the way God wants us to. We are trying so hard to be the people God wants us to be, to, you know, really just, oh my gosh, that's frozen. This little pizza thing, I was out here using it for something yesterday. It is frozen to the table, so that's gonna have to wait. Anyway, we're trying so hard to be the people God wants us to be, and to, you know, give him all the glory in our lives, and thank him for what we have, and not complain about things we don't have, and thank him for things we don't have yet, even. And we're really trying. And I admit I haven't done that my whole life. There have been times in my life when I did not live for Christ. I lived for Kay. And, you know, I'm not doing that anymore. I want to live to please and worship and make him happy. So, yeah, so crisis completely averted. We We pulled out of that when, you know, no money spent other than my uncle's gas to get here. Didn't have to buy a new furnace, you know, didn't have to go cold, be cold again. And yeah, it worked out great. It worked out great, y'all. So the power of prayer is absolutely real. It is absolutely real. You know, tell Jesus you want to be on his team, Team Jesus, and give him your heart, and he takes care of you. You know, it's called getting saved or being born again or whatever you want to call it. I call it being, you know, doing what Jesus wants me to do. So I just say, you know what? This is what I said to begin with. I'm a sinner. I don't know what I'm doing, and I screw things up, and I want to do it your way. So, you know, call me Team Jesus, and let's do it your way. And y'all, we still got a lot to do. We need to clean up this porch. We need to put stuff away. We need to empty out those sheds in the garage and get that done, and redo those. And they need new roofs, and I need new gutters and fencing, and you know, there's still a lot to do around here. But I just got this peace settle over me. It is gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. No, I'm not wealthy. No, I'm not, you know, shipping magnate heiress or whatever. I'm not. My parents didn't own a chain of motels or hotels or whatever. There was no inheritance. There was no, you know, I've had to work very hard for everything that I have. I've had to work very, very hard, and I have worked very hard. And there's going to be some people out there who say I did it on the back of others, but I did not. I did not. I worked very hard. I've worked very, very, very hard. And I have to trust and believe and have faith in him that he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, and he's going to get me there. And our goals for this year are to prep the barn floor and get that all settled, take the silo down, prep the land out here for the hopefully high tunnel, and some fencing, and call a contractor to build a barn. That's my goal for this year. So that's what we're going to start working on, and we'll get there. You know, today proved to me that no matter what the devil, I don't care if you believe in him or not. He don't care if you believe, well, he don't want you to believe in him, and I don't care if you believe in him or not. But I'm telling you, he's real, and he's out to get you. He's out to get you. And no matter what the devil throws at us in this household, we will stand firm and hold on to Christ. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Whatever he throws at us, we are going to stand firm and hold on to Christ and live our lives accordingly. And today definitely told me, you know, I got you. I'm your father. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. You come to me. Which one of you, if your child asks for bread, would give them stone? You know, that's one of the things in the Bible, the parables in the Bible that he talked about, you know, talking about himself. You know, he's a good, perfect father, and he said, you know, you guys are evil, you know, relatively, compared to him. You guys, you know, you don't have the holiness that I have, and if your kid comes to you and asks you for bread, you're not going to give him a rock. You're going to give them bread. So how much more am I going to give to you, who are my children, who I love so desperately? How much more am I going to do for you? Because I own everything. I own the cattle on 1,000 hills. That means he basically, it's all his. You can say you own it, but you don't. It's all his. So, yeah, he emptied out my basement today, and y'all can call me crazy or whatever. You know, I really don't care. I don't care if you call me crazy. I've been called crazy before. Believe me, I've been called crazy before. So it don't matter to me if you call me crazy. I know the truth. I know the truth. And I know my basement is empty, and I know my furnace is on. So anyway, that was our day today. Just give your heart to him and trust him. That's what he wants. He wants to be your father. He wants to have a relationship with you. So give your heart to him and trust him. So this is Kay, Beulah Homestead with a dry basement, and I'll see you next time.